day. And the two couples which were in the organization were ordered even to beat us by us every day.
Pečersky gave the signal for everyone to go out. He ran off to organize the others, and I lined up all the carpenters, and we went out. But no one was lining up. Everyone felt that something was about to happen.
We were assembled in groups, and we marched to the kitchen, to the main yard. It was 5 o'clock, and now I remember when I marched in, I was shocked to see how many people don't know what's happened. When we were in that part of the camp, we were 500 in that time. If we were 500 people, I guarantee about 450 stand in the line for food, not knowing that practically 95% of the Germans are killed. But now I'm told, one told another one, in simple, we're kissing each other, and I remember older men, I say older, maybe his daughter was 17, maybe he was 50 years old. He was a tailor, and I remember walking back and forth, and holding his hand and breaking his fingers, Why do we need it for? We could live another.
Но никто не думал, что мы выживем.
The most important thing for us was not to end up in that gas chamber.
And soon Sasha stepped on the table, had a speech, and I was standing about 5 feet from him. And again I was begging God, let me survive. And he said the last words. But they said,
if anyone survives, we must tell the whole world what's happening here. And everyone poured out, some of them onto the mined fields, another group to the officer's house, a third group to the central gates. There was heavy fire from machine guns, the watchtowers, automatic rifles. Frenzel shot at those who were running. About 400 people ran from the camp. 150 of them managed to escape death. On Victory Day, in May 1945, 53 former prisoners met. Those were the brutal mathematical calculations of freedom. In the history of the Second World War, this was the only concentration camp uprising in which the prisoners were successful. Himmler gave the order to eradicate Sobibor, so that this symbol of Aryan disgrace would be wiped out forever. Those who remained in the camp were executed. Then the camp was wiped off the face of the earth. Later, after the war ended, the ashes of the victims were collected on this hill. 250,000 Jews perished here. After the escape, Pečersky and several of the others managed to reach the border, cross the Bug River, and find other partisans. In 1944, he was again with the Soviet Army. As an officer who'd been a prisoner, by Soviet law, he had to prove his loyalty and was sent to the 15th Detachment. He was wounded and hospitalized, after which he returned home to Rostov. The letters he wrote from the hospital to his sister Zina became the makings of the book about the Sobibor uprising. He was invited as a witness to the Nuremberg trials, but did not receive permission from the authorities to travel abroad.
Это был интересный человек.
He was an interesting man, played the piano beautifully, and composed music. But I was young, and I didn't know that he was a hero. Only later, when I had the chance to read the book, Sobibor Uprising, did I understand who my uncle really was. After the war, Pečersky returned to his previous place of work at the Finance Economic Institute. Later, he found work closer to his beloved music as an administrator at the Theater of Musical Comedy.
В общем, жили всегда очень, так, скажем, по-моему, это был 50-й.
We were always poor. I recall it was 1950 when a wave of Stalinist repressions against Jews began. We felt the Jewish question. And one fine day, people barged into our apartment to conduct a search. Later, we learned that Papa faced a similar search at work. But when they came to our place, first, they already knew that no one found anything at Papa's workplace. Plus, they saw our poverty. At that point, Papa's second wife, Olga Ivanovna, lived with us, along with her 7-year-old daughter. All of us, in a dark one-room apartment. Since Papa had been accused of a crime, he was excluded from the party. There was no trial, there was no discussion. They stopped the proceedings, but after being excluded from the party, he couldn't find work anywhere. For 3 years, he didn't work at all. As a distraction, he taught himself to embroider. He used all kinds of materials, old pieces of cloth, metal wire. He dyed the threads himself. After Stalin's death, when they started to rehabilitate those accused of crimes, he was called to the Communist Party headquarters and was offered the opportunity to request that he be reinstated into the party. Papa said, "I never wrote anything requesting that I be removed from the party, and I won't write anything asking to be reinstated. If you decide that it's important to reinstate me, do it. But I won't write anything after what I've lived through." 3 miserable years without work. Finally, after Stalin's death, Pečersky was given a factory job, where he worked until he was eligible to receive a pension.